Andrew, thoughts? What
I
should
mean, I think,
organizations do?
yeah, no, look, first of all, I think Martin said it best. All I'm going to end up doing is supporting the point he made by telling you how I think you start to map the buyer journey, because I think that that's really the only thing that could stand expansion of what he said. It was brilliant. Look, how do you start to map the buyer's journey? You have to take advantage of the richest data source you've got, which is the first party intelligence that comes from the interactions between your customers and your sellers.
There
People
you
aren't
go.
doing enough with this. People are, in some cases, afraid of it, afraid of regulatory pressures. I can tell you that I think the market is past that at this point. If you're not actually taking advantage of recording interactions between your customers and your sellers, you're really flying with two hands behind your back. Like it's not a good situation. If you do that, though, you've unlocked a whole new world of what's actually happening on both sides, and a world where you don't have the lens that has historically been true in sales, which is everything filtered through the rose-colored glasses and happy ears of the seller, who's very optimistic. He always has a belief. And look, I'm optimistic too. I've been in sales my whole career. I believe I can be an agent of change, and I can change no's into yeses for sure. And I found myself guilty of happy ears when I go back and watch my conversations on occasion. That's why I'm glad that AI is here to tell us with an unbiased way exactly what people said, to be able to go back over it and ferret out the gaps. Again, going back to my mind, the gaps, those little points, those points of friction within a call are so valuable. I think people get hung up talking about what did a rep do well in the call? How did they present something? It was wonderful, so on
Right.
and so forth. I'm completely uninterested in what they did well in a call most of the time. What I want to find out is, where was there a point of friction? If there was a point of friction where the customer pushed back on something even lightly, that was them giving you a view into their world, a view into their buyer's journey. And that was the part you need to really watch for. And those are things that you should encourage, not discourage. You don't want to discourage that. You want that to happen when you're in the room. If you don't, it'll happen when you're not in the room. And I can tell you, it's much harder to address it then when you weren't in the room. So the most important thing I think they can do is start to harvest this intelligence from the interactions that happen every day. Once you have that, there are incredible teams out there like mine who can help you figure out how to map it with Martin's help and get this into a place that you can actually turn it into enablement for the reps every day. But you got to begin by grabbing up that most valuable source of data, which is those interactions themselves.